Hey guys, we're back. What was the Holocaust? Chapter 3, the Nazis. Remember this guy? Adolf Hitler? In 1919, Adolf Hitler went to a meeting in Munich. It was held by a new political group, the Germans Worker Party. About 25 people were there. In fact, the whole political party had only about 50 members. The party wanted a strong, proud Germany. They blamed the Jews for all the country's problems. This appealed to Hitler. He didn't believe that the Jews of Germany were real Germans. He considered them subhuman. Now, do you remember? Think about we learned about civil rights last. Who did the people think were subhuman? They weren't human. They didn't get a choice. They didn't get freedom. The slaves, you're right. Okay. So they thought the Jews were just like that they weren't important, that they didn't have a right to vote or didn't have a right to be their own people. So let's keep reading. True Germans belonged to the party they called the Aryan race. The ideal Aryan had blonde hair, like Miss Sarah up here, blue eyes. Do I have blue eyes? Nope. So I'm not officially an Aryan, according to Mr. Hitler himself. Of course, some Jews had blonde hair and blue eyes, while Hitler himself, look, my really great picture, Hitler himself had brown hair and brown eyes. But that didn't make any difference to him. Jews weren't Aryans, and he was. So he kind of made the rules up as he went along. Doesn't seem fair. Remember, Hitler, brown hair and brown eyes, but he considered him an Aryan, and those people had blonde hair and blue eyes. And if you were Jewish and you fell into this category, it still didn't matter because you being Jewish was more important. And so you didn't count. Hitler joined the German Workers' Party. He rose up the ranks. He gave spellbinding speeches. He knew what people wanted to hear and how to work up a crowd. Did people feel betrayed by the new government? Yes! Were they worried about jobs? Yes! Could Germany be great again? Yes! In one short year, the party grew to 3,000 members. You know what? I messed this up. 3,000 workers. It started at 50. And in 1 year, it became 3,000. That's a lot. That's a big jump. And Hitler was its leader. Hitler chose the swastika, a hooked cross. See, you see the cross right here? And now there's hooks on the end. For the party symbol. It was an image used in Indian religions. But that is not only why he chose it. Some people believe that thousands of years ago, Aryan nomads had used the same symbol. So Hitler, the swastika, represented the Aryan race. Hitler also added 2 words to the name, National Socialist. In German, the name was abbreviated to NSDAP, then shortened even more. It was just known as the Nazi Party. As Nazi leader, Hitler saw 2 main problems. Germany needed to be bigger and stronger, and something had to be done about the Jews. Because remember, they blamed everything on the Jews. In 1923, Hitler began his grab for power. On November 8th, he went to Munich Beer Hall. Here he is. Munich Beer Hall. He brought along some stormtroopers, armed Nazis. German government officials were holding a meeting. He wanted to overthrow these leaders. Then marched to Berlin, the nation's capital. At 8:30 p.m., Hitler fired a pistol. Here it is. Pistol. And hit the ceiling. With the stormtroopers' help, the officials were taken prisoner. But then things fell apart. There were gunshots. Pow, 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 pow. People were killed. Hitler was arrested. That should be good, right? Hitler was arrested. The bad guy's going to go to jail. There he is. His trial lasted almost a month. It was big news in court. Hitler lashed out at the Jews. He spoke about German pride. He was sent to jail, but the trial drew even more people to the party and to Hitler. While he was in prison, this is the craziest part, guys. When he was in prison, Hitler entertained. Isn't that crazy? He feasted on wine and chocolate in jail. And he wrote the book called Mein Kampf, which means my struggle. What did he struggle against? The Jewish race? He accused Jews of plotting to take over the world. Okay, this is a little bit about, apparently, his struggle. Mein Kampf. During the time the Nazis were in power, millions of copies of Mein Kampf were sold. But after World War II, the German government banned it to block Hitler's hateful messages. Today, a new edition is out with side notes and explanations. Will the book show its readers how evil Hitler was, or bring new fans to his terrible ideas? Is he a good guy or a bad guy? A bad guy. When Hitler left prison, the Nazis were more powerful than ever. Remember, they're not wearing the swastika. They held big parades. They staged rallies. Stormtroopers and special new military groups, the SS, marched in crisp new uniforms. Many Germans wanted a hero, someone to rescue them from hard times. Their mistake was turning to Adolf Hitler to be their new leader. Hitler decided to run for president. He ran against President Paul von Hindenburg. It was a close election, but Hitler lost. Reichstag elections were held. No party had the major victory. Instead, the government was made up of many small groups. Each one worked against the others. The government came to a standstill. President von Hindenburg needed the support of the Nazis. With his own party as well as Hitler's Nazis behind him, he'd have enough power to govern. Sounds like two bad guys. No. So von Hindenburg appointed Hitler as chancellor. Not good. Remember, we learned that chancellor gives you a lot of power. At noon, January 30th, 1933, Hitler was sworn in by the night. Thousands lined up in the streets to watch the SS parade through Berlin. Its officers marched in step, carrying torches and singing. At the president's palace, Hitler stood at the window. Here he is, standing at the window. A spotlight cast him in a bright glow. Everyone in the crowd raised their arms in the Nazi salute. One newscaster said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen before." German radio broadcast the event. In Jewish homes, families listened, knowing trouble was in store. I think they were probably really scared. There were only about 523,000 Jews out of the Germany's 67 million people. That year, about 37,000 immigrated. They left the country to start a new life. Others stayed. Some didn't have the money to leave. Others just didn't want to. Germany was their home. They told themselves that Jews had gone through bad times before, and in the recent past, life had improved. Now, Jews were German citizens with full rights. They didn't believe anything terrible would happen. Soon, Hitler would fade away. Besides, he was not the real German leader. There was still von Hindenburg and Reichstag for now. So, we'll go back over it. This is the what? The swastika. Yep. And it represents the Nazi party, and they hate the Jewish people. And it started out with the German Workers' Party. Started with 50 members, and in 1 year, they went up to 3,000. The Aryan race has blonde hair and blue eyes. Hitler considers him part of the Aryan race, but he has brown hair and brown eyes, and he fired a gun in a bar. And that wasn't okay. People got killed and he went to jail. But he got to party in jail. Not good. And then he got out and then he was elected chancellor. This is very scary. I don't think this is going to end well. We're going to have to keep reading. See you later, guys. Oh, well, maybe not. Hold on.